like I always say, if you're not down with the bullshit and you're down with the real shit, like and subscribe. Yo, man, I just want to first of all say rest in peace, Shock G. Uh, upon hearing this one, I know we just lost DMX. I know we lost Black Rob, but this was more. This one hits more close to home because you know, I grew up in Oakland, and I've been involved with hip hop music like for several years, and um, I always like tend to think about through the years that I was have been dealing with music. I always think about the people who been a part of my life who were like either like influences or people who I shared experiences with, um, who have knowledge of what I've been through and what I've done, who are more up close and personal, and especially a lot of the local artists who, or the different ones I'm saying, who I had a chance to meet, have conversations with, or some kind of way been around, and those are like personal type experiences that I always kind of keep in the back of my mind and look at like, yo, look who I met or experiences I had from just being a part of, you know, this music genre. And the thing about it was, um, you know, um, there was a time when I lived on 23rd Ave. I lived in it, which, everybody in the town know that's the Murder Doves, the Twomps, like what it was called, you know, um, more so referred to back like in the 90s. And the thing was, I stayed over there and in the same building. Money B's sister stayed in the same building with me. So Money B would come through there from time to time to come to go see his sister. So I would see him and I'd have conversations with him about different stuff. And as far as like, how to, go about getting into the industry, basically talk to him about, ask him music type questions and everything. And he would just, you know, talk to me and tell me like, he would answer my questions to the best of his ability. And every time he see me, he would stop and talk for us, for a hot minute. He didn't just like look at me and like, oh man, I gotta go, man. You know what I'm saying? He would stop for a moment. He would let me know like he gotta go do something, because he was busy and everything. But he would stop and talk to me for a minute. So uh, one time we had a conversation. And he said, "Hey," he said, "we're gonna be doing a uh, autograph signing at Leopold's in Berkeley." He said, "Come through," and stuff like that. And I said, "All right." So me and my brother, we went on that day to see Digital Underground at Leopold's in Berkeley. And that day always sticks in my mind because I remember like, they were all there at the table and doing the autograph signing. And all of a sudden, like Tupac was tripping about something. And people kind of was like looking like, what the hell is going on? And I was like, basically like, I probably was like about, uh, about 3, 4 feet away from him, you know. And they were all sitting at this table, DJ Fuse, Hump, you know, Pac, Money B, uh, um, all the rest of the guys. And it was like this little white kid, a boy, I guess he kind of overheard Tupac was tripping because Tupac was saying everybody's coming up here getting autographs from everybody, but some people was passing up Tupac and they were going right to Shock G, or they was going right up to like uh, Money B, or they was going to DJ Fuse. They was going to the other guys in Digital Underground. They wasn't, and they wasn't going up to Pac. Some people was, but some people wasn't. And he tripped out. He was like, oh, don't nobody want my damn autograph. You know what I'm saying? What the fuck I'm doing here for? I'm paraphrasing, but this is like what he was saying. He was like, yo, like, fuck it. And then people started turning around looking. And Shock G had looked down the way, because he was like about 2-3 chairs down from Pac, like sitting there, and he looked down at Pac and he was like, Pac, what's wrong? What's going on? And he was like, yeah, don't nobody want to sign my damn autograph. What the fuck I'm doing there for? And he was like, wow, calm down, man. This and that. So the little white, kid, like, was listening to him. And he walks over to the table and he said, can I get your autograph? And he slapped the little, he had the little poster. What was that for? The Sex Packet poster or something, like the album or something like that. You sign your name on it. You get the autograph. They sign their name on a little cardboard poster. Of them. And the boy puts it up there, and Pac slapped the poster on. No, I ain't signing no autograph. He's like, forget that. And he just jumped up talking about autograph session over. Fuck it. And then, he got up from the table, and some of the Leopold staff walked over, and Shock G walked up to Pac like, Pac, what's going on? And he just tripping or whatever. And then next thing you know, I just looked, and Shock G was just like, all right, man, like, he was like, all right, man, it's over, or whatever. Because it was like Pac was just tripping the hell out and shit like that. And, I was like, damn, what the fuck? What the hell's going on? We go to leave out of Leopold. So everybody just, because the day was over with, so we leave out of Leopold. So Digital Underground, guys started leaving out of Leopold, and it was like their limo was outside. So these two guys came walking from down the street. They had on purple shirts that said Tupacalypse Now on it. And they looked and they was like, yo, what's up, Pac? Yo, what's up? And Pac just turned to looked at the dudes, and he was like, yo, what's up? What's up, niggas? Yo, what's up? What the fuck y'all doing? Hey, man, y'all come on, man. And Shock G walked up. He was like, Pac. He was like, what the hell you doing, man? He said, we ain't got enough room. He said, oh, man, these my niggas, man. They ride, man. What the fuck, man? You know what I'm saying? It's not wrong. And he just kind of, the limo lady was a lady who drove the limo and stuff like that. And Shock G she had got the car, like, letting people in and stuff. And I remember she was in the back of the car, lifted up the trunk for some reason. And Shock G just kind of looked at the woman, and he just said, all right, whatever. Like, just come on, let's just drive off. And stuff like that. And I always remember that day because that was a crazy ass day and shit like that. And then plus, like, the guys who used to be in the two brothers, Dion and James, that was in the Nose Job video, that'd be pushing the gurney with Humpty Hump on the gurney, you know what I'm saying? Those my boys, because my boy E knew them some kind of way. So one day he said, yo, come with me, man, to come meet them and stuff like that. And then so they live, like, over here in Berkeley off of Alcatraz. So I went with E, we over their house and everything. So I went over there a couple of times, and they were like working on beats and everything like that. So James said, yo, man, there's this project that we're going to be working on with A-Tron, which is Digital Underground's, manager, and also Tupac's manager. So he said, we're going to be working on this project with A-Tron and stuff like that, man. He was like, yo, we're going to be doing these beats and everything. He said, you want to get on it? And stuff like that, because James had heard the way I rhyme and everything. And it's like, okay, it's like, all right, yeah. So I'm like, okay, this is cool. Like, let's see where this go. And one day I wound up talking to James, and he was like, man, he said, yeah, the whole thing we were going to do, it's off now, man. Like, it's off, then what happened? He said, well, Pac got his deal, A-Tron got the deal with Pac, with Interscope, so he said, whole thing about that is, he said, he said he gonna be, he got to focus on that. So he said maybe later on, he said we'll, go on and get the project, the thing that they were gonna be working on, we'll get that back up and running. He said, but for right now, I gotta go work on this. So I was like, damn, you know what I'm saying? And me originally being from Long Beach, like the thing about Pac is, I said, damn, in a sense, Pac has had an effect on things I have tried to do musically. Being originally from Long Beach, before he had got there, I had family members that were associated with Death Row and stuff like that. And plus, Snoop knows, my different family members, and Warren G, and, like the East Siders. Like, everybody, a lot of people, everybody went to Long Beach Poly, grew up together. So, a lot of people, everybody just growing up knowing each other. And so, I remember it was a thing where my cousin Ben made shotgun from one eye, may rest in peace. He used to be a DJ and do music, and so we would talk about music and stuff. We even did a song together. I wish the guy, I don't know what happened to that recording that we did. We did a song together and stuff like that. But Ben was inquiring from Little C Style. He said, "Yo, what's going on with trying to get everybody else on? Because Snoop, he was up in there. Warren G, Daz, Little C Style, Badass, RBA, a lot of other, all these guys from Long Beach that are already up in there. So he's asking him a question like, well, when, because there was still some other guys that, everybody kind of knew around the way that did music, rap, produced stuff too. So, everybody on it, and Little C Style said we were all sitting in the car. And when he asked, we was all having a good time, drinking, smoking, whatever. But once my cousin asked him that question, all of a sudden, Lil C Style was like, "What?" He said, "Hey, man," he said, "I ain't bringing nobody up in there." He said, "I'm just a staff producer, dude." He was like, if you come up in there and you whack and you ain't cook, shit, fools getting their ass whooped. I'm in the back seat looking like, what the hell are you talking about? Like, people getting their, it's supposed to be regular, what? And he just, this look came on his face like, kind of like after that would kind of dampen things, and the vibe wasn't as cool no more. After that, we kind of got out the car and Lil C Style went on about his business after that. But it was like once Pac got to the Death Row, everything kind of intensified. And it was just this thing like, the end of Death Row was very near and stuff. But nobody knew it. So it was like that shut down whatever anybody else that wasn't a part of that, outside of that, any aspirations that you thought that, oh, I'm about to be part of Death Row or get on or whatever. It was like, forget that. Like, nah. So it was like, damn, A-Tron had to deal with Pac or his solo deal once, he signed with Interscope, and then he comes to Death Row, and then everything gets turned into this whole, this is no longer like a record label, this is like a basically gang run. This is just some gangster shit or some gang banging shit now, like posing as a record label more so, like shit. But yeah, I had heard some things going on with Shock G that in recent years, I didn't know whether or not was true. I don't even know if I should really even say anything about that. I kind of wondered about it. But I was hearing these things about just where he was and as far as like, I've heard some things like what he was doing as far as being employed and working, and I was like, this Shock G, like, he had some hit records. I know he had shit got some kind of money out of that. And then he just kind of look. I ain't saying he had to be a multi-millionaire necessarily, or in that aspect, but I would think that he, regardless of what, was talented, artistic, and innovative enough to still be in, the rap game or in music, even if it's just as a producer or being able to, you know, maybe promote other acts or do something to where, like, things that I heard in recent years, how he was kind of living or what he was doing, I was like, I don't know, it just sounded weird. I don't even really want to touch on that and stuff like that, honestly, because I didn't know it to be factual to say it was true. So I'm not gonna put that out here just for some kind of shock value or to trip people mind or have you think. Cause I don't know whether or not that stuff was even true. But yeah, man. I mean, and then it's like Saafir. I know he was a part of Digital Underground, and I know him and Pac had issues. Saafir's from West Oakland, just like me, and I would like periodically run into him, run into the Who Riders, his brother and his cousin, and have conversations with them, and they were always cool and everything. Whenever I would see them and talk to them and stuff like that, and you know, so I always had, as far as Digital Underground, it was always like this. I always felt a kind of a kindred type of a spirit in the way of being just attached to them by some of the other people who were associated with them, in a way. And I would sometimes think, like, if things could have, or what if things had to went a different way, and that project that Dion and James were working on, that was supposed to be, overseen by Atron. What if that had to actually, grew some fruit? Like, really, what if that had to really blossom into something, or, but I tell people sometimes, like, shit happens like that sometimes. You can know people and be associated with different folks, and sometimes it's a matter of, am I in a position to help you at this time? I'm who I am, but I still might not have the time and be in the right position to help you, and stuff. So, if it does go good and you can, that's a blessing. But sometimes, things just don't work out the way you want it and stuff. But yeah, man, I look at it as, damn, I got to meet Tupac, one of the greatest rappers of all time, because of him being in Digital Underground, and me being acquainted with Money B, and from Digital Underground. And so it's like, I really like how, Digital Underground, being from the town, being from Oakland, how during that 90s era, along with Too Short, along with En Vogue, and MC Hammer, and Tony, we had some, they were part of that West Coast turn of really being formidable in music in those early to mid 90s. They really played a real pivotal part in the attention that came also not just to the Bay Area, which was very significant, but also the West too. So it's like, yo, man, it's sad. You know, my condolences goes to his Shock G's family. You know, all his friends, the associates, the people that I know, like really feeling this. That was, you know, in Digital Underground, associated with Digital Underground and stuff. Man, yeah, man. You know, it's with an artist that's like, you know, Black Rob and DMX. I mean, 2020 and 2021, there's been so many rappers that have died from the old school to present day. That's real crazy, man. So I just wanted to share that. And peace.